live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Rockford police need your help finding this woman. Officers say she damaged a downtown business.
School is just around the corner for many of our kids. The state wants to remind us of an upcoming way to save when it comes to buying school supplies.
And brewery makers are running into a nationwide shortage of a key ingredient. Local beer makers tell us what they're doing to avoid falling flat. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
Dixon police have now identified the kayaker whose body was recovered in the Rock River Wednesday.
Investigators say he's 40-year-old James Shirk from Dixon. Someone reported Shirk missing Tuesday. He went out on the Rock River and was last seen near the Custer Avenue boat ramp in Dixon. Police were called to help find him around 8 that night. Early Wednesday morning, Shirk was recovered from the water near Rock River Estates in Lee County. Investigators haven't announced a cause of death. Police have not found his kayak. If you see it, contact Dixon Police or the Lee County Sheriff's Department.
Rockford police are asking for the community's help to locate a woman who allegedly smashed a window at a local business. Take a good look because police need help identifying this woman. According to police on Monday, the woman was last at the local shop Minglewood on East State Street. Police say she tried to open the door to the business that was closed at the time. The owner of the shop then caught the woman using a metal bar to smash a window before running off. If you know who this woman is, contact Rockford Police. A new scam is on the rise, and it involves using fake bank websites to target consumers' personal information. The Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation and the Illinois Attorney General are warning people to be careful. Scammers create websites that appear to look like a legitimate bank website to lure people into entering personal information in order to create an account. In order to avoid falling victim to the scam, the Attorney General's office recommends if you're opening a bank account, contact the bank directly.
It's almost time for local kids to head back to class for the fall. While school supply shopping can be fun, the price tag often isn't. That's why Illinois leaders want to remind you about the upcoming sales tax holiday. The state's dropping its portion of the tax from 6.25% to 1.25%. You will still pay the local portion. Teachers can also benefit. They're eligible for an income tax credit up to $250 for school supplies they buy for their classrooms.
Our teachers shouldn't have to break the bank to do right by their students, the students that they nurture day in and day out. And our students shouldn't have to walk into their first day of school empty-handed because of global economic challenges that shouldn't interfere with their day-to-day academic life.
The sales tax relief window starts tomorrow and goes until August 14th.
Supply chain shortages hit the beverage industry. Carbon dioxide is the issue.
It's a nationwide problem that's forced a local brewery to be more efficient. Nikel Delgado talked with the brewmaster and his supplier about how it's affecting the bottom line. Nikel?
That's right, Eric and Mimi. Carbon dioxide, or CO2, gives that nice fizz to drinks like beer or soda. But beverage gas distribution companies tell me CO2 is used for many things and hopes they can help keep small business open during this shortage.
It's been an issue for us in the past year, definitely. Our supplier partner, Matt Carb, has dealt with shortages. We're kind of at the mercy of any number of things going on in the world.
Pig Mind's head brewer, Chris Langeth, has been professionally brewing for 5 years. He tells me carbon dioxide is an important part of the whole brewing process.
Carbonating the beer, transferring it from one tank to another, serving the beer from kegs, running the canning line. We rely very heavily on CO2.
Matt Carb is a third-generation family business. The company distributes to brewers like Pig Minds. McCarb's president, Adam McCarthy, tells me every year the company sees issues, but it's never been this bad.
The past couple of years, it just seems like it's getting worse and worse, to be honest with you, and this is probably the worst that we've seen.
Adam says McCarb is working on how to serve clients better by getting more equipment, using trains instead of trucks to move product, and upgrading technology on CO2 tanks to stretch the available gas.
We're able to see where they're exactly at and kind of be able to push them out a little bit longer, or, prioritize them over somebody that has plenty of gas in the tank.
Chris says Pig Mind staff have their own ways to make the CO2 go farther.
We've done our best to try and mitigate those issues. We employ some processes that help us save on CO2. One of them is naturally carbonating the beer.
Adam tells me McCarb is in a unique position since the company makes its own CO2. The problem is more distribution than supply. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Nicole. The YWCA of Northwestern Illinois announced it's expanding some of its services provided by acquiring the Literacy Council. The Literacy Council is a nonprofit that serves adults with literacy programs and ESL courses. The president of the YWCA says this new addition will help provide even more services to those in need.
Currently, Literacy Council provides ESL classes, English as second language classes, and tutoring for adult learners who are learning to read. YWCA services really encompass many programs around women's economic empowerment, the empowerment and stability of families, and the elimination of racism.
The organization will increase ESL classes and will offer ESL classes for businesses wanting to help their workforce.
You missed out on a chance to meet and pet a live shark.
Hard. It felt like glass.
Freeport Public Library hosted the event. It was all thanks to the National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium from Dubuque. The museum brought an epaulet shark for people to touch and meet. Those sharks are found primarily off the coast of New Guinea and northern Australia. The shark is one of the museum's animal ambassadors. More than 100 people attended that event. The number of monkeypox cases in the U.S. climbs to more than 6,600.
After the break, we'll hear from the Biden administration what they're planning to do to tackle this problem.
And we're 1 week away from the Illinois State Fair. Coming up at 6, organizers show us how they're gearing up for the big day.
We've got the Ogle County Fair that continues here this week. It'll be a hot one going into the weekend, but as far as rain is concerned, that chance holds off until the latter half of the weekend. We stayed for most dry here. We'll look at where the showers have been falling today and when we could see that next chance for a rain return. Coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
We turn now to the latest on the monkeypox outbreak. More than 26,000 cases have been reported around the world. About a quarter of those are in the U.S., including 5 children.
As health experts learn more about how the disease is spreading, they encourage high-risk communities to get the vaccine. Rena Roy shows us the Biden administration's efforts to stop the spread.
As monkeypox cases grow across the country, the Biden administration doubling down on efforts to control the virus, declaring a public health emergency. President Biden appointing 2 top federal officials to oversee the nation's response, with more than 6,600 cases in the U.S., including several children.
We're prepared to take our response to the next level in addressing this virus, and we urge every American to take monkeypox seriously and to take responsibility to help us tackle this virus.
Right now, the virus is mostly spreading in LGBTQ+ communities, primarily through skin-to-skin contact. It's not considered a sexually transmitted disease. Officials urging high-risk Americans to get vaccinated.
And everyone's like, how do we get an appointment? So I was able to snag this like right when it came, and I'm just so happy I got it.
But some supply is failing to keep up with demand.
There's definitely a shortage of supply. We are in a race.
We have demand that's outstripping supply.
23,000 more vaccine appointments opening up Thursday evening in New York City, which is considered the U.S. epicenter of monkeypox. Symptoms include headaches, rashes, and blisters. Kyle Benter is recovering from the disease.
It was akin to what I would probably consider to be like medieval torture because it was so long. It was unending.
Most of the monkeypox cases so far have mainly been men who have sex with men, though health officials warn the virus could affect anyone.
We need to direct resources to where we're seeing cases, and at the moment it's in those communities that we've heard.
Experts say as cases increase, the virus will likely hit other communities. The pharmaceutical company Moderna is launching a research program to consider a new potential monkeypox vaccine with mRNA technology. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Another summer day here in the Forest City with partly cloudy skies and warm temperatures.
Coming up, Candace shows us the next time we might see some rain to cool us off.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, temperatures, they haven't been excessively hot, but you may have noticed that humidity really kind of sticking around for this afternoon. Same thing here for this evening as the heat index temperature in a few spots have made it into the low 90s. 87 our temperature here in Rockford, feels like 91. You've got a heat index factor of 92 right now in Sterling. Actually, our temperature sits at 86, same temperature down there in Dixon. We've actually had our dew point numbers come down a little to the north across southern Wisconsin, but with that cold front kind of stalling out right along Interstate 88, those dew point temperatures haven't dropped much. In fact, those numbers still staying in the lower 70s, so it has been a little more on the muggier side. And while we started off with some cloud cover here this morning as well as some fog, we were able to clear out some of that this afternoon. You may have noticed some more of those fair weather cumulus clouds kind of popping up, an indication that we do have that moisture in the sky. And what's really cool with that, that actually combined with a lake breeze, it's always neat when you can pick up these little features on radar or satellite. We actually have a lake breeze coming in off of Lake Michigan. That's that green line you see pushing west through DeKalb County. Actually helped to fire up a couple of isolated showers near DeKalb and Sycamore a couple hours ago. No thunder with that, but some heavy downpours with very little going on in the upper part of the atmosphere. None of that activity was able to sustain itself, so really just kind of fizzled out after producing likely some pretty heavy downpours for a brief time, but that has been fairly isolated. High pressure building back in has allowed quite a bit of dry air to come in here in the middle part of the atmosphere. We just haven't been able to get rid of a lot of that moisture for some down near the surface. Good news though, with the recent rain we've had throughout the month of July, we actually are almost an inch and a half above where we should have been for the month of July, which is typically one of the rainier months out of the year. We've pretty much eliminated those drier than normal conditions here across northern Illinois. Yes, still portions of DeKalb County, Lee County, same thing for Ogle County. Now we still do need the rain. It gets really dry in the summer months when you go several days without rain and you have a lot of wind, but there has been some improvement in that. Same thing too across southern Wisconsin, southeast Wisconsin, however, still dealing with moderate drought conditions. The northern half of the state, however, has actually had drought conditions worsen as a lot of the real heavy rain has kind of moved across the central part of Wisconsin. When we look back to the beginning of the year, January 1st, we've had just over 19 inches of precipitation, still puts us at a deficit of about 3.8. For June 1st, dating back through June 1st, so the beginning of meteorological summer, we've had about 7.6 inches of rainfall come down, still putting us at about a 1.9 inch deficit. So our skies are going to stay pretty dry here over the next couple of days, so we're really not looking at any rainfall. Tomorrow morning, however, probably going to be some dew on the ground and even some fog too. Some of that fog could actually be dense south of Rockford tomorrow morning, so may have to take it slow there early on. Winds pick back up from the southeast tomorrow, so that brings our temperature into the upper 80s, heat index back into the low 90s. By the time we get into Saturday, however, temperatures will actually make it into the low 90s. So it gets a little sticky there. We don't really see a lot of dry air working either. In fact, our dew point temperatures will likely climb back into the upper 60s tomorrow, and then you've got low 70s once you get into Saturday. So that'll push the heat index factor Saturday afternoon into the upper 90s. Now Sunday for the most part looks dry. Cannot rule out some thunderstorms for the afternoon. Better chance, guys, comes in Sunday night and Monday with another cold front that works in. That'll bring our temperatures back down low 80s, and we could even have one or two nights where those numbers drop into the upper 50s.
Some big changes between the weekend and the beginning of next week. Candace, thanks.
Scott's in next with sports. The Cubs all-star catcher put on an all-star performance this afternoon in St. Louis.
And an Ice Hogs player from the past is ready to return to Rockford in a new role.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
A win or two over the Cardinals in St. Louis would ease some of the pain from this season for the Cubs. They have two opportunities today with a day-night doubleheader. In Game 1 today, Wilson Contreras, well, he can relax now that he has that trade deadline behind him. He was free swinging in this game. In the first inning, he cranked out a solo homer, his 15th of the season. He later doubled, so a big day for the Cubs all-star catcher. But the Cardinals have a star in Paul Goldschmidt, and he rang Marcus Stroman's bell here in the 7th inning. That's his 26th home run. Helped the Cardinals rally from a 3-0 deficit. The Cubs dropped this one 4-3. It's their fourth straight loss. We'll try to end that streak in Game 2 tonight. Here's Contreras on being relieved to still be a Cub.
I just wanted to be over and clear my mind to play baseball. Now that like I said before, I just need to keep my focus on baseball. I don't have to worry about something else anymore, and trying to find a way to help this team to win as much as we can.
And the Cubs-Cardinals rivalry will play out on some new turf next year. The two teams will play each other in 2 games in June in London as part of MLB's World Tour. The last MLB regular season games there were played in London in 2019 between the Red Sox and the Yankees. Cubs have played regular season games in other countries twice before, in Tokyo in 2000 and in Puerto Rico in 2003. The White Sox take on the Rangers in Texas tonight. Luis Robert will be back in the lineup, batting second and playing DH. The Sox are 2 games behind the first-place Twins. Well, an ice hog from the franchise's early AHL days is rejoining the team. Rob Klinkhammer is coming back as an assistant coach. Klinkhammer played forward with the Ice Hogs from 2008 through 2012. He ranks 8th in Ice Hogs history for the most games played. He spent parts of 7 seasons in the AHL and parts of 6 seasons in the NHL. The last 6 seasons, Klinkhammer played overseas in the Continental Hockey League. He has good memories of Rockford.
Being back in Rockford is going to be awesome. It's very nostalgic. It's where I started my playing career. So I'm really excited to get back there and just see, because my life has changed a lot since I was there. I wasn't a man. I was a boy when I was in Rockford. I was very young. And
Klinkhammer has ties to current Blackhawks head coach Luke Richardson. They were together with the Ottawa Senators a decade ago when Richardson was an assistant coach there and Klinkhammer played there. Hey, the NFL comes back tonight with the first preseason game. The Jaguars and Raiders will play in Canton in the Hall of Fame game. That's sports. We'll be right back.
The first Warren Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've got a couple of showers that were down in DeKalb County just a couple hours ago. Those have moved out. Our skies will stay dry here as we go through the night. Temperatures in the lower 60s. Could see some areas of fog develop late tonight, early tomorrow. A little hot tomorrow afternoon, and then you've got the 90s returning for the weekend.
All right. Thanks, Candace.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.